diva with a destiny. Got purpose and zest, you see. Books, business, and accessories. She walks in favor and she's blessed indeed. She keeps her head and her heels high, and her limit soars beyond the sky. If it's purpose she's pushing, you've tuned in with Table Talk with the Diva. Why? Join in, it might free ya. Hey, hey. And if you're feeling down, come in. The enemy he's trapped won't win. For God has given you vision, and in the end you shall win. Hey. Table Talk with the Diva. Why? Join in, it might free ya. Hey.
Well, great evening, and welcome to Table Talk. I am the visionary and the host of this platform, Table Talk with the Diva. Some call me the auntie, some say the diva, some say she's a bad girl from the Chucktown, aka Charleston. But welcome to Table Talk with the Diva. I was backstage just getting excited, jamming to my jingle by the amazing Mattia Washington. So I've got to give a shout out before we get started. My niece is on a release today. She's excited. The family is excited. We're shouting you and cheering you on. Kudos to Mattia, aka Rocky, and she knows what Rocky is. That's my baby, one of my babies. But thank God for her and the success that is coming her way. So grateful for her. So moving right along to Table Talk with the Diva. We are always excited, ignited, and delighted to be on the platform. So I'm going to give a couple of house rules. I need you to please, if you're rocking with the Diva, your family, your friend, your sister, and your auntie, I need you to tag, share, like the episode. Really easy. It costs you nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just rock with your queen. I need some help. I am soliciting the prayers as we are getting started with this amazing episode. Tonight, we have an amazing entrepreneur. He's an author, Seth. I'm so excited to chat with Seth and his mom, Dr. Latifah. She has multiple names, so I always have to choose the one that is best for me to remember. But she's Dr. Morris from Morehouse College, so you know she's extra deep, but I love her. She's my sister and my friend. So we are going to get started. Listen up. I need you to tag, like I said, share, and like. Make sure to go over to YouTube and share the video. I am an entrepreneur and a CEO that is striving. I am assisting. I am pushing. I'm a queen. I'm a coach. I'm a mentor that is helping other women, some with handicaps like myself. So those of you, so if you're tuning in for the first time, Arthur Pierre Collins, I am legally blind. I am also hearing impaired, but my vision, I've never lost it. So I've lost some sight, but no vision. So I hope you caught that. So I'll say that one more time. I may have lost some sight, but I've never lost my vision. So I've been reading, following David Schwartz, another mentor from afar. He's up there with my coach, Keith L. Brown. So his one of the quotes that I love the most about him is he's saying, believe. If you believe that you can change a situation, you'll find a solution. So, and I'm just paraphrasing it. That's not it, but basically thinking, the power of thinking big. So let me slow down. The Power of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. So you might want to check it out because he drops so many nuggets in there and it pushes you to another level. But first of all, we've got to start changing our mindset in order to be better. So if you want better, then you can have better, because we are all perfectly flawed. We all have been given the same opportunity, but in our mindset, we just got to decide on where we want to be. So I may want to be rich. I believe, and I decree and declare, my husband and I every day, that we are millionaires. Why? So we're able to help family and friends and help ourselves in some areas and do things that we couldn't do if we don't have money. So yes, we claim that we are millionaires every day. So get ready for Team Collins, because we're grinding and this is about kingdom building. So we're able to be a blessing in our ministry, in our personal and individual lives, outside of ministry, at the church and wherever else that God's allow us to put a seed in the ground. So that's what you see me doing. So when you see me grinding, just know there's purpose behind it. There's purpose behind it. So I want you to always think big, because if you think small and don't know your value and your self-worth, then you can't expect anyone else to believe in you if you're not doing it. And so we're going to roll right into the call. I'm not the call. I think I had a call this morning, Awaken Destiny. So I got a couple of things going on. But Table Talk, we're here on the platform tonight where we have Arthur Seth and the beautiful Dr. Muhsinah Latifa backstage. And so we're going to bring them on and get started with the show. So I need you. Hello, gorgeous. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Great.
Outstanding, sis. Arthur Seth, how are you today?
I'm doing good, Miss Period. I'm doing good.
All right. Ooh, I feel like a queen. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. He got my name right. All right. Well, Mr. Seth, we're gonna get started. And I've been telling the people on the platform that you're an amazing author. And I'm excited because I'm an author. You're an author. So guess what? We do some of the same things. We inspire people. Did you know that?
I know that too, Miss
You know,
Period.
see, you're smarter than me. I should know you know that. This is awesome. So can you tell the people what is the title of your book?
Seth can do all things. Seth can do all things, Miss Period. Seth can do all things.
Seth can do all things. I love that. And you know what? I believe that, Seth. I believe that. This is awesome. So did mommy and daddy tell you can do all things, or Seth just believes it? You just believe it because you're smart and you're strong.
Seth's going to believe I'm very strong. Okay.
Come on with it. That's what I'm talking about. You're smart.
That's what I help you.
I'm loving it. Well, we are here on the platform chatting about autism, living with autism. That's right. Autism Speaks, autism awareness. They are amazing individuals, and we all know that God makes no mistakes. He makes no mistakes. That's right. No mistakes. So Seth is perfect because he's created by God. Did you know you're a king?
Did you know
I'm a queen. Mommy's a queen and you're a king.
Mom's a king. Mom's a queen and you're a king.
That's up. Hey, I take it. I will take it. That's right. We are kings and queens. That's right. Awesome. Well, we got an icebreaker here, and I want Mom to help us with this. I'm going to give Mommy a couple of words, and we're going to figure this thing out. So, Mom, the icebreaker for tonight, I think the first word will be patience. Give me the first word that comes to your mind when you hear patience.
The promise.
The promise.
Come on, Seth. Help her out. Awesome. Okay. Second word for the icebreaker would be relentless.
Seth.
I'm loving it. Yes. The last word for the icebreaker would be empathy.
Empathy.
Ooh, my heart.
Hey, you got it. So you got it. So it was patience. What was your
Relentless.
word? Relentless and empathy. Yes. Yeah. And so we always do the icebreaker here at Table Talk. Why? Because words are important. So I know she said that every time, and I'm going to continue to say it every time.
Yeah.
Right. Words are important.
His dad just walked through. Well, his dad is about to walk through the door, so he hears his father. So now he's like, "My dad is about to walk through the door."
That's right. Well, tell Dad hello. Tell Dad hello and jump on YouTube.
Hello, Dad. Hello.
Say, Daddy, we're on a show. Oh no, that's not your dad. That's who? Who is that?
Anthony, we're at the show.
That's
Anthony,
his brother.
That's his big brothers. You have a couple of big brothers, don't you?
How many brothers do you have?
Anthony, Matthew, Kai, and Cameron.
What? Kai is your sister-in-law to be. So start over. You got
Anthony,
brothers.
Anthony,
Okay.
Matthew,
Christopher, Cameron.
and then who's your sister-in-law?
Wow.
Kai.
Yeah.
So you have a big family. You have 3 brothers and a sister-in-law to
I have
boot.
4 brothers.
4 brothers.
Four
That's
brothers.
right, because you have that number of grace. Forgot.
Right.
That's right. All boys. And now God is blessing you with another daughter.
Yes.
Ooh, wow, that's amazing, and that's powerful in itself, honey. You look amazing with 5 boys and your husband, girl. You a bad
I'm
girl.
the only
That's why
girl
she's
in here. I'm telling you.
Oh my God. That's why you're Dr. Latifa. Come on now. All right. So we're going to go on into the chatting. So, Seth, I wanted to ask you, was it exciting writing your book? Did you have fun doing it?
Yes, it is, Miss Peria. What exciting reading your book, Miss Peria?
Okay. Can you show me your book?
Yes.
Here you go. You got, well, let me just show this camera.
Seth can do all things, Miss Peria. Seth can do all things.
Seth can do all things. You've got to be so proud, Mom. Well, I'm proud of you, Seth. That is amazing.
I'm proud of you, Miss Peria. I'm so proud of you, Miss Peria.
You should be proud of Seth, because that means you work hard, you were consistent, you did a great job. I am super excited.
So can he read some of his book?
He sure can. Can you give us a little bit of your book?
You're gonna read a little bit of your book to the people. Okay, start. Let's just open it up. We're gonna open it up, and we're gonna talk about all the things that Seth can do. So I'm gonna show the people what he's reading.
I can read. I like books, and I read every day.
Come on.
Do you like to read? What is your favorite book?
So it's also an interactive book. So it asks questions of the reader. So not only will it tell you that you can read, but it will ask you questions. Do you like to read? And then what is your favorite book? So that young people who are reading it can have some interaction with, as if they're dialoguing with Seth along the way.
Wow, how awesome is that?
Let's read a couple of more things. What else can you do, Seth? Let's see. Oh, come on. What about that one? What do you do?
I can pray and give thanks. I love God and He loves me. Do you have a favorite prayer? I do. It's my God. I do. It's my good night prayer. It says, dear God, thank you for today, and thank you for my family and my friends. I love you, God. Amen. I said this prayer every night. You can too.
Wow. Woo! Go Seth. I need y'all to give Seth a high five and some applaud. This is awesome. This is awesome. He already started out in the beginning letting us know that Seth can do all things. Then he just showed you that he can do it. He has the action behind his words. So catch it now, because he has written a book. He's reading. And so don't allow anybody to tell you what you can't do. So if you don't believe me and you don't believe
Mommy,
please believe Seth. Tell them the name of your book again, Seth, so they
What's the name of your book? What's the name of your book?
All things. Tell them again.
Seth can do all things.
That's it. So I need you to tag, share, and like. I need you to pull up a chair at the table, because we're chatting about autism, children, adults that are living with people that are living with autism. And so they are very special individuals, but we're going to get into another little conversation with Mom, but I don't want to hold Seth long. But I am so grateful. Is there something you'd like to share? Something else you'd like to tell me while we're on? Where
can people buy your book?
God, don't forget that.
Seth can do all things.
On where?
On Amazon. Whoa, you have your book on Amazon. That's an author. Check it out. So you can go, so they can go. So Mama, tell us what is the link for the book? What is it? How do we get on Amazon? Just put in what?
You can put in Seth Can Do All Things, or you can put in Seth Morris, and it'll pop up.
Right.
And so it's on paperback and on Kindle. The paperback is the interactive one. The Kindle one just has obviously just the digital text. But it also chronicles our story. But the reason why we really wrote the book was to make sure that people understood that even though autism is a label, it's not a limitation. And so Seth is proof to that. And just like God said in his word, we can do all things. So, so Seth can do all things through Christ who strengthens him, and you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. So it's inspiration for everyone, not just people on the spectrum, but parents, children, and people around the world, just so that they can know to keep persevering, because in spite of it all, Seth is continuing to persevere.
Wow, this is great. This is good stuff. This is good stuff. So you really need to get someone on. If you have anyone in your life that is living with this, I don't even want to say a challenge.
Who is living on the spectrum, and we all are in some capacity living on the spectrum. Everyone has their own set of unique challenges, and that's what makes us the human race. That's what makes us so beautiful. So I just say, autism is a spectrum, which means that you have very high functioning people who have abilities that are invisible to the eye, but there's still some challenges that they have in life. And then you have some who are very severe and incapacitated and need full-time support. Seth falls somewhere in the middle. There are some things that Seth really can do, and then there are some things where he has challenges. But we are working through them all, and he's learned so much and come so far. And we're just really proud of his journey. So he also has a national spot for autism awareness on Autism Speaks YouTube page. So you can go and watch it. It talks about developing your full potential. And we're both advocates. And what's the name of your group? What's the name of your organization? Seth's what?
Seth's group.
No. What's the name of it? What's the name of your group?
Seth Soldiers.
Right.
You got it. High five, Seth. Woo!
Oh, okay. He got it. They got a handshake. Come on, we got a handshake. Go.
Uh-oh. Come on. I'm learning. Go.
Do it again. Uh-oh, wait a minute.
I'm going to get it.
Snap.
All right.
All right. I'm loving this. This is what I'm talking about. Educate me. I love it. I love it.
We got a special beat.
So I know it. Tell me something that you enjoy doing, because I saw some pictures and I know you're a superstar on IG. What is one of the sports that you play?
What sports do you play?
I sports baseball.
There we go. Baseball.
I played baseball.
Yes.
Yeah, because I hear mom in the background. Mama's in the bleachers says, knock it out the park, Seth. She said, knock it out the park. I said, listen, mama, cheer it up.
Yeah. Open your legs, bend your knees, put the bat up.
That's right.
Lift your elbows.
Right. That is awesome. Softball. How long have you been playing softball? How long have you been playing softball?
Since he was 7 or 8. Was it 7, 8?
About 6 years old.
Yeah, you were 7. Okay, you were 7.
7. That is. And Seth, how old are you now?
I'm 14 years old.
Wow, 14. Go, Seth. Woo! Uh-oh. I got to get the handshake, man. 14 years old.
If Seth's going to do anything, he's going to give you a high five.
I love it. I have a godson, LJ, has been diagnosed with autism as well. And he's a looker. He loves to giggle. He loves to laugh. And he's very, very high-spirited.
Say, I love to laugh.
I love to laugh.
So you like to laugh too, because LJ loves to laugh. But LJ loves music. Do you love music?
Yeah.
Does Seth love music? You do? All right.
Say, my mama makes me dance in the kitchen with her all the time.
All the time, Mom. All the time.
All the time.
That's a good thing. I love music. I'm always motivated by music. Yeah, it gets me going.
Yeah.
All through the day. Yes. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, Mom. So I wanted to ask you, I would probably say, can you share with the parent of some of the people that are watching, parents, grandparents, whoever the guardianship may be for a child, what were some of the signs that you detect that made you even take him to be even diagnosed?
Evaluated. So his speech never continued to develop. So Seth was an early reader. He does like to read, and he can read very well and has great fluency, but he wasn't actually using that language or capacity to be able to speak and have conversations. So it just stopped. It's like it just stagnated. So he would only remain in these 1 to 2 sentence fragments. And then, you ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
Okay, say bye.
You're ready to go? Well, thank you so much, Seth.
Next week.
Right. I thank you so much. And I'm going to buy your book. I'm going to buy your book. Okay?
Okay.
Absolutely. I've got to get your book for my granddaughter. Yes.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going downstairs to my computer. That's his number.
I heard that.
Job. Okay.
You have a good night.
Good night.
Seth, I'm ready to go. Seth, let's break this short. That's a wrap.
It's a wrap for him. Okay, he's like, I'm done with this.
He did amazing.
Table talk. They about to start talking about something serious. Looks like it. So
okay, Seth said I'm out. That's right. That was so good. I enjoyed meeting him, and he does excellent.
Thank you. Thank you. So we have come a long way, but Seth had some very unique challenges. Like there was a time he had like he was a daredevil. I thought that he was a child that didn't feel pain. So they have some children that don't process pain because he would like jump from places. He didn't have a fear of like heights or danger, you know, things that would scare a child, any kind of phobias. He was just, but he didn't know his own danger. So he would run out into the middle of the street and, you know, like he just wasn't really self-aware, and I couldn't figure that out. But then he would have meltdowns and tantrums around large crowds or around loud noises or things like that. And by meltdown, I mean, it wasn't a typical, he is, you know how children can throw tantrums and you just, you know, ignore that. But no, this was like, he was really in distress. And it would come from the smallest things. So the things that would cause him distress would be things that are typical to us. If he was hungry, if he was sleepy, or if he was agitated in some other way, like had some kind of sensory overload, then he would literally like go into a crying spell and fit. He would get upset. There were times when Seth was aggressive and would throw things and harm himself. So self-injurious.
So let me ask you, if he's like not feeling well and in pain, how does he tell you if he say maybe?
Now, God, thank you. I thank you, Lord. Now he can tell me that he's like when we found out in 2020 that he had intracranial hypertension, he had been complaining of headaches, and we had been treating it, thinking that he was going through puberty, and perhaps it was just a migraneous headache. I suffer from migraines, so we didn't think that it was anything, but come to find out, the mood stabilizers that he was taking to help him with, you know, some of the other issues that he had in terms of attention and focus and mood, to help him, you know, be in school and not be restrained and all those kind of things, but to actually sit and learn. He was on those medications and he gained 100 pounds. And that 100 pounds of weight caused a condition in him called idiopathic intracranial hypertension, or it's also called pseudotumor cerebri, which is just a buildup of spinal fluid on the brain. And so it caused an enormous amount of pressure. And so Seth was having headaches that persisted beyond pain. So like he would say, Mommy, my head hurts, but then I would give him Tylenol, or then I would give him a leave or something. And it would wake him up out of his sleep. He would just turn into like a baby. He would have to put his head down. And now I've experienced migraines, and I know what it's like with light and sound and everything in your head.
Yes.
But it became persistent. And then finally I told him, listen, we're not going to get any real good information. I need an MRI. So they did the MRI. And literally that was the scariest call, because I was at work and they called me and told me to bring him to the hospital immediately.
Wow.
And that started our journey in 2020 of trying to get him well. And then COVID started. So he was in the hospital 2 times before COVID, getting put to sleep, being tested, getting spinal taps. And we were considering even a shunt because his pressure kept going up and up. We couldn't really control the weight. I didn't really understand how the medicine was affecting him.
Okay.
And then that chemistry mama, you know, don't let the pearls fool you, because he is. That's why I wear my shirt that says advocate. Because this mama was like, I know I don't have a PhD in biomolecular chemistry to let the doctors tell me something. And I said, wait, doctor, that's not going to work. So I sat down with them, fired a little bit of people from their team, and let them know that this wasn't going to work for me, and
That's right.
I'm taking over. And me and God sat down and had us a real good
Come on, Mama.
and I realized, you know what, I have all the tools that I need to be able to heal, and it's going to take persistence and it's going to take fortitude, but God has put it in me to be able to do it. And so I remember that fifth time, I think had that fifth spinal tap, and we had lost my mother-in-law, who was a help to me. I was her Ruth, and she was my Naomi.
Yes.
And she lived with us for 13 years, so all of his life. And we lost her in September 2020. Seth was in the hospital 2 more times after that, and they told me that his brain could herniate. They were considering a shunt.
He's a liar.
A lot of different things were happening. He could go blind. And weight loss was what could really change the trajectory of his prognosis. So they weren't sure that it would help 100%, but they know that it always alleviates some of the symptoms. So Mama said, okay. December hit, we were dealing with grief. We lost our mother-in-law and father-in-law, my father-in-law, and they were real, close to me. So that was really tough for our family, my husband, losing his parents. So then moving into January of 2021, I don't know, it's almost like God just lit a fire in me, and it was like,
that's right.
We're going to just take it one step at a time. And literally, there were times I was so exhausted, but I said, I'm going to be his workout partner, because Seth and I have done everything together. Yes. We've overcome a lot of different things together. And I said, we're going to overcome this together. Absolutely. And God said, water and walking. So the next book you'll hear come out from Seth, besides, this is the first in his series of Seth Can, but just about our testimony, because I feel like the testimony should not be silent. It should be broadcast. People should know how God can help you, even if you put forth a little effort. And honestly, it was like having the faith of Peter and saying, I'm not going to falter, walking on water. So I always said, we walked on water, and Seth lost 75 pounds. Seth has lost 75 pounds.
And I see him in the gym on that treadmill getting it.
Yes, and we chronicled it. So I would put him on Instagram, and he would smile through it all. He started off only being able to walk half a mile. I only started off being able to do like half a mile on the bike too, because I was like, I got to do the bike if he's on the treadmill, because I can't do the treadmill while he's on it. And he needed a partner, and I don't like the bike. So it taught me endurance and perseverance too. And we worked out together. And Seth just slimmed down. He is a young, growing boy with good testosterone firing off in him too. But it also helped him with focus and attention. And another thing that I did was I took him off of the mood stabilizers. I took him off of all that medication except for one for sleep, because Seth will stay up overnight if not. And I started him on cannabis oil. So I'm a proponent for the use of cannabis CBD oil in young children. I say get a verified batch. So I'm also a proponent for regulating it, for making sure that you have something that's not coming from somebody off the street, or that you're looking at who is making it, and making sure that they have labs and tests that are done for quality control and assurance. And so that's really important, and it was important for me. And so I found a doctor who consulted with me, colleagues around the country, and just put our heads together and said, okay, let's try this combination. And literally it worked. You didn't see him rocking. Usually Seth would be rocking like this.
Yes.
And he sat right here next to us.
He did amazing.
Even on the medicine, it couldn't stop him from stimming as much as he was. It was always overstimulated. And so God has just done amazing things, literally. So the next book you'll see is called Walking on Water, how me and Seth walked on water together towards Jesus. Literally. So, and I told God that I would always honor him in that, because it was the small things. So sometimes it's not the large things that we do that make the difference. It's the small things.
Come on now. That's right.
Including Seth's book. So Seth's book was a way to honor the growth that we had made, and how we were able to overcome these challenges. and to do it with faith. So I told him every day, baby, say, I can do all things through Christ.
That's right.
I can do everything, all things through Christ. And that's our mantra for me and my other children too. And so I just kept saying that to him and kept saying it to myself, because I had to also believe that.
I was going to ask you, let me ask you, Dr. Muhsinah, how do you stay, because I'm hearing you, and of course, you're definitely a woman of faith like myself. So what are some other things that you did to stay inspired? To stay inspired, going through all that the little you've shared with the challenges with Seth, where his health is concerned and the medication. And I applaud you for pulling him off of the medication and checking and doing the research for yourself, because that's definitely key. Because a lot of times we take what the doctor says and go with it, and just like, well, they said he needs to be on it or she needs to be on it, I'm just going to give it to him, and not doing our part as a parent. And so I definitely applaud you for that, because I would always question it, and I would go home and Google and research before, because my baby had migraines as well, and she would come home crying. And so I'm like, what is wrong? And I said, is someone being mean to you? No, me. What is wrong? And just crying. So got her to the doctor. One doctor put her in glasses, get her to a specialist, because she was having the migraines. And he said, who put the baby in glasses? And I was like, well, the pediatrician put her in glasses. He said, this baby didn't need glasses. So I felt really horrible. I felt like a failure as a mom, because it's like, okay, Lord, I'm believing her. She's in first grade, and she's saying she can't really see the board, and she's coming home crying. But he said the baby has migraines. There's nothing wrong with the vision. So I was a little angry and ticked off. And so at that point, I made a decision, like you, to say, you know what, let me do my own research and let me get another opinion before I just allow them to, do certain things and me not really knowing. Because she wore glasses for almost 2 years and didn't even need them. Right. Coming home with migraines, and she would not get relief until she would vomit. And so she had to just, it's like the noise and whatever, and then she would vomit and she'd wake up.
That's my claim to fame. I'm not gonna even tell you any different. Migraines are awful.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Because even with my godson, who is has autism as well, LJ, and that's why I was asking you, how do you know when he's in pain? Because LJ, and I don't know about right now, I would have to ask his dad, but when before my god sister, my best friend, passed away, his mom, I've seen him, and he would just come and just take her hand and put it on his head, and he's just, but he would bring her, because he's nonverbal, and so he would do that. And she would do that. Your head is hurting, and he's just crying. And then all of a sudden, he's vomiting.
Right.
And he needs to sleep it off. And so that's why I was just wondering, what did he let you know? But back to the question,
my head hurts. Or he speaks in third person, or he doesn't always get the pronouns right. So he'll say, "Mommy, your head hurts you. Mommy, your head hurts you." Or he would come and he would literally lay down and like face plant, and he put his head like try to burrow his head in my neck, like almost like a baby that was like really in pain. Just like how when your baby's in pain because they start just acting like a baby, they kind of almost whine and that kind of thing. But he would come in my room. Seth stopped sleeping with us at age 7. I know that's a long time, but he was a danger to himself, and we couldn't let him out of our room.
Absolutely.
So Seth slept in our bed, and we would watch, because we didn't start any medication on him until after age 7. But he was diagnosed at age 3. We knew something was wrong, and then about 4, we knew for certain what it was. Okay. So, but Seth will climb in our bed, and when he started climbing in my bed, and I'm like, now you don't come to sleep in our bed, so something is wrong. And he only does that when he's sick. So that part, because he can't get any relief any other kind of way, and he gets comfort. So he knows how to come to his mama, just like how when I'm sick, everybody wants their mama, right?
That's right.
So he said, I want my mama and my dad, and whatever.
Come on, baby. That's right. That's right.
But
what are some things? How do you stay inspired with all of that? Because we as women, we wear so many hats, first of all. But from listening to all the things you have, and a house of 5 men, and then you thank God for your daughter-in-law that's coming on board for you. How do you stay inspired with all that you do and work and being, his ride or die for everything? How do you do it?
I don't do it. God does it.
Well,
To
okay.
be honest, like I mean, I'm not even trying to go all spiritual or deep,
Oh,
but
no,
I
no, no. I get it.
I literally don't do it. Every morning I've learned that I'm incapacitated until I speak to God. Like I just literally can't even move. And people don't understand that I do a lot of things afraid.
That's right.
I'm not infallible. I'm not this this strong. People see a strong woman and they see that because God allows that to be seen. But
Absolutely.
I am okay, so I'm a crybaby too. But I am human, and I
It's so
have,
good.
no one knows how many tears I've cried, how many
Oh, girl.
breakdowns I've had,
Mhm.
and how many times that I have literally sat down by my bed and cried out to God, or been in my car. Literally, I would just have praise and worship on the way to work after wrestling with Seth, and he would hit me in the face, and
That's
he would
right.
get on the bus, but he was afraid of the rumble of the bus, like it became so overwhelming and it was scary to him.
Mm,
There were so many different things. I mean, biting through battery cables and
Jesus.
batteries and cable cords and jumping off of surfaces and not being able to focus and be still. I mean, there's been a lot of different things that we
Ooh.
had to overcome. And then one of the things that keeps people really locked into it is shame.
Oh,
And
yeah.
what I learned from my mom, Alice Holmes, and my father, Gordon Holmes, we have a special needs brother. His name is Gordy. And Gordy was born normal, and then had meningitis at 4 and left him brain damage. And I was a special needs sibling. I never knew him normal, but he was what inspired me to be a chemist, because I wanted to fix my brother, in a sense, like revive our family. And so when you said empathy, my empathy was embedded in me.
Come on.
And
Yes.
so I always wanted to help families understand what happens to the brain when it's attacked by disease, and any type of infectious disease or disorder or anything like that. And lo and
Yes.
behold, I end up being a mom to a child who has a neurological developmental delay.
He
And
was right there,
I
you.
didn't know why that was happening to me too. So I've dealt with a lot of grief, and but I learned courage from my mom too. She
Me too.
emulated and advocated so hard for my brother,
Mm,
who really, the left side of his brain was burnt out, from the high fever, and he didn't have any neurological
mm,
activity in the left hemisphere,
mm.
and so he really was developmentally stuck at 18 months, and still is. He's 52 years old and still is. However, my mom advocated for services for him. She stayed in the trenches for him. He went everywhere with us. He was a part of our family life, and everyone knew him. Our friends knew him. If we were dating, Gordy was a part of it. If we were going out to the prom, Gordy was there in the pictures. If wherever we were going as a family, we all went. And so
Yes.
it was a great model of strength and courage for me, as my to pattern was my mom. So I modeled and got my strength from
Ooh,
that. And I saw my mom. My mom was really transparent, and she showed her vulnerabilities. And that was really good to see, because now as a parent I understand. And I remember one time Seth hit me so bad, my face was swollen. I had to go to work and I had to give a talk.
oh,
And it
Jesus.
looked like I was a battered woman. And
My,
I remember my mama having to wrestle with my brother, because he was really stubborn and but very, very strong. And um,
wow.
in that moment, I felt so connected to my mom in a way that I never had been before. And I remember calling her and I said, Mom, how did you do it? How did you do it? She said,
Mm,
baby, pray. She said, I'm going to pray for you. So my mom, she doesn't know, because she doesn't like,
take your time, girl. I understand. Take your time. It's all good.
she is my shoe. And I am, because she is. And I could not stand here right now in this kind of strength without her. And seeing her and my father, no matter how hard it got, they stayed there in the trenches together. And people
Mhm.
always sometimes saw the negative parts of it, because it's challenging being a parent to a special needs child, and people don't understand all of the things that people do and say to you. And they may mean well, but they say things that are harmful and hurtful. And
Lord Jesus.
I just to see my mom overcome that and to still fight through and always fight to love on her child, her children, give
My
us
God.
all opportunity. So there are 4 of us in my family, and my brother is the oldest, and she had 3 other children, and she gave us a wonderful existence. And I'm literally like, I have as many degrees because she stressed education. She wanted to make sure I had every opportunity. So she practiced with me because I had my own deficits. I couldn't talk until I was 4 years old either. And I was
Jesus.
so like my mom was my speech therapist and my coach. And so when people see me and I tell them all the time, I don't do this in my own strength. God sent an angel to guide me. And that was my mom. And so
You gave me the answer that I was looking for. I knew it because I knew you to be a woman of faith. So you gave me exactly what I need. I just wanted the viewers to hear it because I already knew. I knew it already. But you said several things. You gained your courage from your mom. And so I already know you cried. You made me cry. So this is not her first time on Table Talk. Dr. Latifa, um, you messing with me. I was prepared. I was like, okay, Lord. And I didn't know, I knew it was going to be a good episode, but I was hoping I was going to get through without tearing because I'm a transparent person as well, like my mother. So when you talk about you have the strength and the courage of your mom, I am all of my mother. I get it. She was the shero for me. That is the mentor. There is no best coach, nobody better than my mom.
yeah.
So taught me strength because I lacked in so many areas, but she would always make up the difference. And when you talk about being transparent, and so some people said I am too transparent, or she'll just say what, and I don't say whatever, but I speak from my heart. So they may not accept it, but they've got to respect it because I'm speaking truth. And no, I don't know everything, but I'm speaking from my heart. So, girl, when you on the mama tip, don't get me on the mamas because I understand. Mama Ryder died with me until she closed her eye from a brain tumor. So I was her. I was her. That person for her. She
Yeah.
was that for me. So I get it. And you and these tears and everything, you got me. Oh my Lord,
And
y'all,
I had 2
nose
mamas.
running.
Listen, so I've been blessed to have a great support system.
That's right.
And then to be honest, so my dad was a rider. Like my dad was a rider for us. He was the quiet storm. He was the calm.
Ooh,
You know, he was
Jesus.
the one that was steady. He kept the ship
Yeah, a lot of
steady. You know,
Mm.
and he was the fun. He brought fun and liveliness to it. And even now, he's like, everything's gonna be all right, baby, baby. That's what he say all the time to
That's
me.
right.
So my mom and my dad modeled this strength, and then me and my husband were able to model it in our own family. But my husband, I can tell you, his dad, Christopher Morris, Senior, listen, hands down, best dad ever to do it. 5 sons,
Mm.
loves each one of them as if they're the only child that
That's it.
exists in his
That's
world.
a good parent.
And
That's it right there.
he God grew him in a way that I never expected. He was the solid one. I was the one crumbling. Like I cry in a heartbeat and be like, I just I can't, you know. And it was him that was
So
in the,
you,
like in the trenches, and I didn't understand that he was actually going to learn. I knew about autism. I understood being a special needs in this world. He
right.
didn't, and so he was going to study behind the scenes and find out what to do. And we were
Yes.
doing it separately. I really wish if I could go back and do this journey again, that we would have seen each other in different lights. And I'm glad that God has allowed us to see each other like fully
Absolutely.
as parents and see how we both were in the struggle and in the fight. And
Yes.
I tell all parents that are young and they have young children with special needs,
Mhm.
hold on to each other because really you got. And
That's right.
your children need you and they
They
need to
need you.
model love.
Yes.
And I'm grateful for my teammate in this fight. I'm grateful for Chris. I'm grateful for my children. My children have also given me strength. So his older brothers, Anthony and Matthew. So like when I had 4 children, I paired them 1 and 3, y'all a pair, and 2 and 4, y'all a pair, because they're 7 and 9 years apart. So The older two are 26 and 23, and then Seth and Christopher are 16 and 14, and then there's Cameron, he's 5.
Right.
So he's kind of by himself, and everybody's got him. But when it was the 4 of them, I had all of them paired. And Matthew, my second son,
Okay.
he was the one that really showed me that Seth could be independent because he was paired with Seth. So I would say, Matthew, go put on Seth's clothes, and he said he'd do it. And I'll be like, now you're gonna be hard headed, or what you gonna do? But him saying, "Mommy, stop babying him. He can do it."
Wow.
Was what made me say, okay, well, let me listen to this child. I don't know what it was. It was just like, okay, he's persistent, so let me listen to this child. And because he told me that Seth could do so many things, he was like, "You be babying Seth." Seth, no, Mama. Seth talks to us when you're not around. Seth hangs with the boys and laughs when we laugh, hang out. Yes. He know the handshake. You saw him. He know the handshake.
He knows it.
He's one of the boys. Like, so why you babying him all the time? And, I'm like, oh, okay. But so at the same time, then Matthew would give up his bed for Seth. So I would come into Matthew's room sometime, and Seth would want to go and sleep with Matthew because that's his pair. And Matthew would give up his bed and sleep on the floor to let his brother sleep in that twin bed by himself. But that's the kind of brother that he is. And that's the kind of sons that I have. My sons have done a lot. Feed Seth, bathe him,
yes,
give medicine. So his brother Christopher gives him his medicine every night to help out. Everyone pitches in and does what they can to help us live a full and wholesome life. And so I'm just grateful for the family God has allowed me to create, and the family that I come from, because my siblings have all been there for me. Literally, my sister Naima, my brother Sabir, my brother Gordy is the inspiration of it all. But we've been blessed by having had Seth, and everyone just rallies around and supports, and
so important,
goes on to one another. So I'm grateful for this journey, but I could not do it without their support. And then my mother-in-law, God rest her soul, Nina, when I tell you my Naomi, every day she would make his lunch. She would make sure that he had a bath. If I was working late, she would, read to him, make sure he prayed. Anything that I emulated and I wanted to see done in my household, she did it. And so I had wonderful examples of what it's like to be a doting, loving mother, and what it's like to nurture a child through adulthood, what it's like to be in the trenches and advocate for your child through all of the relationships, and the family, the extended family that have rallied around Seth, his social media network, the community that I found through Autism Speaks, Seth Soldiers and their organizations, and people who just pray for him. I mean, people around the world literally have held Seth up and prayed with me when he has been ill. And I've been open about that story because I don't want anyone to feel like whatever they're going through, God can't rectify and fix.
Absolutely. And what I was hearing is not only does Seth has autism, but it sounds like the entire family, because y'all are a team.
We're a team. Yeah,
we're going through it together. We're all chipping in, helping out with meds and food and just quality time. And Seth can do it. So not only does Seth have it, but the family we all have it.
We all have it. Yep. We're in this together. We're in the fight together.
This is beautiful. And your tribe matters. Your tribe matters because when you don't have the support, especially going through something that serious, especially with getting diagnosed from the doctor and medication and all the stuff that you said he had to go through and you went through, you all have to go through it together. So you got to have a strong tribe. That is genuine.
And then it's interesting because Seth was born around the same time as his cousin. So he has a cousin, Zion, who was born like a year after him in December. He's a December baby. And then he has a cousin, Sabir Jr., who was born like a month after Seth. And so he's nested in between Zion and little Sabir. And they were like his little group. His cousins are his friends, and are there to support him through everything. So Zion would talk for Seth and tell him what to do and help him with instructions, and Lil Sabir is gonna help him learn how to play video games better and just communicate more because they're peers. And so just having that family, his aunt, Christine, who, if I ever need somebody to come and just sit with Seth or be with Seth or do something with Seth or stand in the gap for me, my sister-in-law has always been a support. My husband has a wonderful sister. I tell him all the time, you know, God loved me because he gave me your sister. And your mama and your daddy.
No, that is beautiful. So let me ask you, what are three tips you can leave with a guardian or a parent that is unsure what's going on with their child as far as being checked out, and once they discover or been properly diagnosed, what do you highly recommend just on the home front side? So if we can give three tools or three tips that you can leave with the viewers, guardians, parents, that could help them with this journey with autism, what would that be?
Go get help. Like go get the diagnosis. Knowing will help you. The earlier you know, the better you're able to help your child develop lifelong skills that will give them the ability and the capacity to be able to do more, you know, to live out their full potential. And so it's really important to go ahead and get that early diagnosis. Early intervention does change the trajectory and can help you overcome a multitude of issues if you know early. So don't be afraid. Don't sit in shame. There's nothing that you did wrong, and it's okay. The second thing I would say is find your support network. I found mine through Autism Speaks, but there are several autism organizations around the world, around the country, that will help you and build a community. And if they don't have it, build it. Start it. And the third thing is, as a caregiver, you have to make sure that you take care of yourself. One of the ways that I feel like is most important, but often overlooked as a caregiver, is therapy. I go to therapy. Call it what you like. I don't care. I'm going to sit and talk to somebody that's a professional. Make sure that I am on track. I talk to my minister, Norman Thomas Jr. at First Baptist Church. He's known me my whole entire life, and I talk to him, and he prays for me. But what I do know is that I need other types of support. So I stay getting personal, developed and coached.
Self-care.
And that's my self-care, is to make sure that I am in my right mind and spirit to be able to stay in the fight. And so when you ask, how do I stay in the fight? I make sure that I have, and then I have a group of girlfriends that I've known my whole life that came to support me as I talk about Seth, Krista, and Holly. They've been with me since I was a little bitty girl, and they're still my friends. Richard, he's across the world in Ethiopia, and he'll pray for me in a heartbeat because he knows what I'm doing. And he's a missionary. So there's just people that have impacted this journey, that have stood in the trenches with me, and allowed me to. And then I have a great autism support network. So I found a group of people, because I couldn't go to a support group, online with Dr. Allie Griffith, and we call ourselves the Amazing Tribe. So
love it.
Amazing 8. It was 8 of us that started in this professional development, because we're all autism moms in business or in nonprofit.
Wow.
And so we get together and we do like a wellness retreat every year. So
sounds like fun.
So take care of yourself as a caregiver, and grow your community. Make sure you get your baby the help that your baby needs. I don't care how old they are. And there are places that will help those who feel like they might be on the spectrum, that are adults, because 1 in 44 children live on the spectrum, but 1 in 45 adults do.
My God.
So, right. Wow. So right now, but 85% of people who have autism are unemployed. And so the research that I do, the work that I do in virtual reality, as the CEO and founder of Metaverse United, as the director of Morehouse in the Metaverse, is all geared towards eventually helping those with neurodiverse learning challenges be able to thrive in the workplace. And so you can do a lot with virtual reality. And so that is a whole nother show, but you can find me at unitethemetaverse.com. You can learn about the work that I do and have been doing in some of the talks that I've given, but I try to make sure, and it's advertised, this show is actually advertised on there, because it's my entire platform is to make sure that there's inclusion in the world, in all sectors for those who have neurodiverse learning challenges like autism. And they can have great quality of lives. You just have to give an opportunity. And so I'm trying to make sure that I do that in all facets of my life, my work, and my personal is all the same. I want to have a whole full life. When I die, I want to die empty.
That's what it's about. That's what it's about right there, dying empty. Boy, you have been amazing. Seth has the best life coach for him. You are amazing, and I applaud all of your efforts and everything that you've endured. I know it has not been easy, but as it goes, as the saying goes, God will never give us more than what we can bear.
Yeah.
Because he has your tribe in place. He had the family in place. He strategically had placed in order the steps for you, the sons that are with you, the babies that you gave birth to. All that was done before you were even conceived in your mother's womb. So you already know.
Imagine that.
You're built for this. Yeah, you were built for this. So everybody could not handle your fight. So when I say our fight is already fixed, literally, it's already fixed.
Amen.
So I applaud you. I love you, sis. And thank you again for saying yes to Table Talk. Yes to God. And your husband has an amazing queen. If he already didn't know, but I know he knows what I'm going to say. His wife is the bomb digger. How about that? How about that? Well, Dr. Latifa, I love you. This has been great. And thank you again for joining. And 9 times out of 10, she'll probably be back next year for autism because the girl is just bad. She got all the information. So if you are out here, if you missed part of the episode, I need you to go back to YouTube and just hit the link and catch the replay.
Yeah.
She has dropped so many nuggets and so much information, and just expressing and being transparent is like key for me. Talking about how, he's maybe hit her and how he went through things and were chewing. I mean, just all this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And most parents can't imagine. Most parents couldn't even imagine a tenth of what you went through. Right. And I'm tearing up just to know that you've had to endure. But I know that God has built you for that fight, like he's built each one of us for our fight. So I applaud you. I love you. And thank you so much.
I love you all. Thank you all for having me. And you can find Seth on IG at Seth Soldiers. Seth Soldiers. So it is the 2 S's in the middle. And then I'm at Chemistry. So my own personal ChemyStree, Chemistry. So you can find both of us on IG there. And Seth will be coming out with his next book within the next year. So this is just the first in the series. So go to Amazon and purchase. Seth can do all things for the young person in your life on Amazon.com. And
support. My granddaughter right now, we don't believe there's autism, but we're buying that book. Because, hey, Seth can do all things. And Kalani is being taught that already at 6 months. She can do all things. And Jeremiah 29:11 is probably going to be the first scripture that she reads that quotes by the time she's 1.5. Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
This future is and a hope God has given us, right? So
expected in. That's right.
I hold fast to that too. Like, and I'm grateful that God saw fit to give me this journey and had already planned it out. So I'm really, really excited about what the future holds and where Seth can be and will be a year or 5 years from now. Because we're building his legacy now. So he's going to be the next billionaire mogul.
Speak it, Mom.
Legacy thing.
That's it. Speak it, Mom. So the best is yet to come. I believe God with you. So I stand total agreement with you in the prayers that you've spoken over Seth, and I believe it to be so. So
his name means God's appointed one.
Absolutely. So, absolutely. Wow. That's it.
He was appointed for a time such as this. And I'm grateful.
All right. Well, thank you all. And we thank Dr. Latifa for jumping on with Seth and just dropping all the nuggets and informing us. This is what it's about. When you get on here, you are considered to be one of the experts. So you've got to come with the info because Dr. Muhsinah Dr. Latifah, Dr.
I know
Morris.
she gonna call me Latifah. She gonna hold on to let.
I love it.
It's my middle name. It's my middle name. So
bad girl. I love it. Yes. But hey, when she comes on, she's dropping information.
So come to Autism. Go find Autism Speaks, because they have like a 100-day toolkit for when you first get diagnosed, no matter what level your child is at. They have an autism response team where you can call them, kind of like SOS. And they have operators available where you can call or email and they'll get you right back. But they have a family and a community in most local areas. They also have caregiver training videos that are available on their YouTube channel that are free of charge. And so you can get a lot of information from them. If you don't know where to start, I would always say start there. They have the largest voice and they have the most powerful community.
Amen. Thank you so much. Okay, so definitely catch the replay. Go to YouTube at Arthur Pierre Collins or Destiny Chaser. There you will find me. Please don't forget to hit the notification and subscribe button. I need your support to follow and share, tag, and check out the episode. You got the social media handles for Dr. Morris.
Yes.
And Dr. Morris and Seth can do all things on Amazon.com. So we thank you. Have a great night. Thank you for tuning in to Table Talk with the Diva. We'll be back here next month, and we are celebrating. Here we go. Seth can do all things. That's it. I love the cover. Awesome. Have a good night, sis. Take care. Thank you so much.
Good night.
Remember to tune in next month. We will be celebrating women in business. So I have some powerful women that are coming on. And so we are celebrating. May is the month of women in business. So make sure you tune in, because we have entrepreneurs and CEOs and women that are just doing and rocking and doing their thing. So we want to rock with them as they rock with us. It's important to push another sister to help them catapult to the next level. So I am Arthur Pierre Collins. I'm a coach, I'm a mentor, and I am always excited and delighted about coming to the platform to share some information with you. So have a great night, and we'll see you next month. Thank y'all so much. Thanks for joining.
She's a diva with a destiny, got purpose and zest, you see. Books, business, and accessories. She walks in favor and she's blessed indeed. She keeps her head and her heels high, and her limit soars beyond the sky. If it's purpose she's pushing, you've tuned in with Table Talk with the Diva. Why? Join in, it might free ya. Hey, hey. And if you're feeling down, come in. The enemy he's trapped won't win. For God has given you vision, and in the end you shall win. Hey. Table Talk with the Diva. Why? Join in, it might free ya.